Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Pranava Rao, and as you have already seen the thumbnail and the title of this video, you might be knowing that in today's video we'll be configuring and installing a virtual machine on a Windows operating system, which is nothing but a Kali Linux. Now Kali Linux is a popular penetration testing operating system. It's a Linux based OS which is used by penetration testers for their audits or penetration testing or hacking and all those processes. Now, yeah, there are other distributions of Linux operating systems like the Parrot OS or the Red Hat Linux and all those things. But then I would be delighted to showcase the Kali Linux installation. Basically, I had some errors in my Kali Linux. The keyboard functionality was not working, or other things, and all those things. So I thought, why not have a fresh install and even showcase that on my channel for you all if you're interested into configuring or building a new virtual machine of Kali Linux. And if you just want to get started, you can just follow along in this video. Yeah, enough of my monologue here. Let's just dive in. Okay, so all that you have to do is to browse to the kali.org, or you can even simply Google search saying Kali Linux, and you will be presented with the first link, which is Kali Linux website, or you can directly go to kali.org, where you will be presented with their web page. Here, I will click on the downloads button, so which is going to redirect me to the downloads folder. Now we have multiple options here. One is the installer image, the virtual machines, ARM, mobile, cloud, live USB, and a build script, and all those things. Now, mainly our target and our motive of today's video is about installing it from the installer image, which is nothing but an ISO image. Now, for virtualizations, we actually, as the easier way is actually the virtual machines option, where you will get the zip file of either the VMware workstation or even the Oracle's workstation files, which you can just directly import it to your virtualization software and then run them. But in today's video, we'll be showcasing the ISO image. Now, I just want to touch up upon the ARMs and the mobile. It's ARM is nothing but if you want to run it on a Raspberry Pi or anything like that, you can use that. Mobile is for if you want to install Kali Linux on mobile, you can use that. Live USB or containers and all those things. I mean, the name just says, so you can do it. So let's click on the installer images option. Here you just need to download the installer. So we have a weekly net installer and everything and all those things. So what we'll select is the installer one, the recommended one from Kali itself. You can have two options, either the torrent version or just download it directly. For the purpose of video, I have already downloaded the ISO image, and they're already stored in my downloads folder of this host OS. Okay, now assuming that you have already downloaded the ISO image like in my case, or you can just put it on download option and then come back once it's downloaded. Open up your workstation, VMware workstation, or if you're using Oracle VirtualBox, the steps are pretty much same or similar. I might even just add a clip of setting up the same configuration files even in Oracle a little later down the video. But then I will be showcasing this on VMware Workstation Pro. This is the similar steps are even there in the VMware Workstation player. All that you have to do is to say create a new virtual machine. It's going to be presented with a window or a wizard. So you need to select. It's going to be for typical or usually, but then you need to select on the custom one. It is going to be for advanced users. Don't worry, you just have to follow along. Then you click on next. There you will be given choose the virtualization hardware compatibility for your virtual machine. Just go with whatever is default and whatever is your version as selected, because that actually will be containing its drivers and all those things. So click on next. Next, let's select an ISO image. So we have an either option to say I will install the operating system later, or will install it now. So I will select the disk image file. So here I will click on browse, and it has pointed to my downloads folder where I have the ISO image of my Kali Linux. I'm going to take that itself and then click on open. So that has not been able to detect what operating system it is running. So that's it. I mean, you just need to import the ISO image. That will do its work. Then click on next. Here we need to be selecting the option called as Linux. That's what has been selected. And Debian 12.x64, I guess, if that is the latest, let's select that itself. And yeah, that is the latest. So 12.x64 bit. So select that option and then click on next. Then we'll name the virtual machine. I will name it as Kali Linux. If I can spell that right, Kali Linux. And then I don't want it to be saving it in my downloads folder. I wanted to save it in the desktop folder. Okay, so I have selected my place where I want my Kali Linux to be saved. So it has selected the desktop folder and all those things. So I'll click on next. You can change it upon your wishes. Wherever you want to save, you can just save it there. Then I'll click on next. Here with the processor, now typically a minimum of 2 core processor is required for running this very smooth, because you'll be also installing tools and running tools in them. So for a easy flow of that, 2 core processor is important. But then this computer is really beef, so I will go up to 4 cores of processor. I'll click on 4 core processor and then click on next. With the RAM, minimum of 2 GB of RAM is required. But then depending upon your computer, how much RAM it has, you can boost it up. So in this computer, I have nearly 32 gigs of RAM. So I can go up to, I'm thinking 8 GB, which is 8192 MB. So I've selected 8 GB of RAM. Then I'll click on next. Then it's checking for the network type. Let it stay at NAT right now. I will not change it. I will change it a little later. So I'll click on next. Yeah, that is the default for the IO controller type. Whatever is the default, let's go with that itself. Click on next. Then disk type, SCI, I mean, whatever that is, I'll just click on next. Then I want to create a new virtual machine disk file, because it's the first time that I'm installing for this virtual machine. So I'll say option to create a new virtual disk. So click on next. Here minimum of 20 GB, it's what is being said, but I would like I would recommend anyone who is setting up a virtual machine to keep around a minimum of 50 GB of storage for your virtual machines, because just in case it requires more number of storages, increasing the size of your virtual machine's disk file is a little headache. I mean, it's easy, but it's a little bit of headache too. So just don't do that stuff. So give it enough storage for it, because it's anyway not going to be occupying the entire storage what you give right now. As on the data is being stored to the virtual machine's disk file, it's going to start increasing the size up to that limit. So you don't have to worry about your storage being filled and all those things. So I will give it up to 100 GB, because yeah, in my case I might be requiring it, because I'll also be storing up some logs or datas in it. So 100 gigs of file is enough. And it's my personal preferences that I want to store all the virtual disk as a single file. Now, you might hear others arguing that having into multiple files is easy if you want to copy it and all those things, which I do agree. But then it's my personal preferences. You can go with either one of these options. So either one of them is really fast with working or something like that, which for me has been affected yet. It's just my personal preferences. Depending upon your choice, you can just go whatever you want. Or else if you're in too much confusion, just flip a coin. Heads means heads, tails means tails to one of these options. No, it's just a joke. Yeah. So click on next. Then yeah, the browse to, yeah, that file name is fine for the disk file. So click on next. And that's it. So I'll just click on finish, and that should have configured my virtualization settings for my Kali Linux. Now I will take a moment to show the same configuration for the Oracle VirtualBox users. Now, to the Oracle VirtualBox users who are installing the Kali Linux on their free version of Oracle VM VirtualBox, initially, if you have just installed it fresh, new after importing all the extensions and all those things, I mean, just ignore my other virtual machines. You would be presented with this welcome screen where you can have an option to import, export, new, and add all those things option. So I would like to choose an option of new. That will going to give you a window for, again, configuring your virtual machine names and all those things. So I will name this pretty much the same thing. So Kali Linux, and then I'm going to be selecting the folder where I would like to save my Kali Linux folders, basically the virtual machine folders. In this case, the VirtualBox VM file, the default location is fine for me, because anyway I'll not be exactly installing in this one. I just want to showcase the steps. Then for the ISO image type, click on this down button and then other option, and then select the ISO image that you just downloaded from the Kali Linux page. So select that ISO image and click on open. So it has selected Ubuntu, which is fine. It is not an issue, but then we can change it to Debian a little later. So then click on next. Again, RAM 2 GB is 2 GB is what is selected here, and processor, I would go up to 4 core processors. At least a minimum of 2 core processor is important for a smooth running of it. Minimum of 2 GB RAM and then 2 core processor would keep your Kali Linux virtual machine running in a smooth manner. If not, you might have some glitches and all those things. So just take it, select upon your computer's physical hardware settings, and then you can select these things. So then I will click on next, and creating a virtual disk file. So for that, what I will do is I recommend usually to people to have around 50 GB of file storage for your virtual machine, because later if you want to expand the storage size of the virtual machine, I don't say it is difficult, but then it's a little bit of headache where you need to be importing gpart and all those things, and then increasing the size of it. So while configuring itself, you can just give a large storage for your virtual machine, so that in the future you don't have to go through that steps. So my recommendation is minimum of 50 GB of storage, or you can even, if you have too much of space, you can even go up to 100 GB of storage for your virtual machine. Now you don't have to worry about 100 GB being available right now in your system, because it's not going to be taking that up instantly. So as the files and as the data is being filled in the virtual machine, it's going to then start to occupy for that so much of data storage in your physical hard drive. If not, it's just going to be a limitation which is set, a virtual limitation. So till then you don't have to worry about it. So it's just select some suitable storage size, and then click on next. So that is it. So it's going to create a virtual machine files for this, and we are presented here. Now to change the option from Ubuntu to Debian, you just go to the settings option here, and under the general section itself, you have the version. So we'll click on that, and instead of Ubuntu going up, we will see Debian bookworm something. So select that. Basically, depending upon your 64-bit or 32-bit version of your computer which is there, you can select that. And the ISO image that we downloaded is 64-bit itself, so I guess you need to be using the 64-bit version itself. So click on OK, and you should be ready to follow along with this part of the section of video where I'll be demonstrating the installation of Kali Linux using my VMware workstation. But then after you press the start machine, the steps are just same. Okay, so back to our VMware workstation for showcasing how we install on Kali Linux. All that we have to do is first is to click on power on this virtual machine, and whatever the warning says, just click on OK. I don't typically you read it, and this should start your virtual machine. The UI, I mean the VMware, all those logos might be different if you're using on a different virtualization software. I mean, if you're doing it on Hyper-V or virtual Oracle Oracle VirtualBox, it might look a little different. But then after everything, this is the page where you will all land up finally when you're installing for Kali Linux. So we would like to go for a graphical installation. We want to have some UI user interface with the Kali Linux. So I'll press on enter, which is going to select graphical install. Then let's wait for it to show up some UI to select some preferences and languages and all those options. Yes, so here it has shown up an option to select my language. Depending upon which language you would like to work with, just select that. I would continue with English, so continue. And my location where I am from, so nearest to me is India. I actually live in India, so that is the nearest. Depending if your country is not listed here, you can select the nearest country. It's basically to assign the date and time and all those variables they asked this. So India is my country, so I'll click on continue. The keyboard option, I use the QWERTY and it's a American English keyboard format, so continue. and that should be it. It's going to look for some additional packages and components related to the network and all those things. Okay, so it has started to ask what is the host name that I want to give it for my Kali Linux. So this is how your system is going to be represented. So I will say Kali Linux. If I can give capital letters, yeah, Kali Linux. That's how I want my host to be represented in my network. So I'll click on next. Kali Linux is invalid. A valid host name may contain only the number, uppercase, upper and lowercase letter. Okay, so let's go back. Let's name it as Kali Linux. Let's see what's going to happen. Oh, that is accepted. I don't have a domain name exactly for this. If you have, you can just enter. Just click on continue. Then full name of the new user. So I will say my name, Pranava Rao. That's it. So then I'll click on continue. You can select your name. You can put it in your name and assign a username to it. So I will assign a username called as Pranava Rao. And then click on continue. Choose a password. I always have a very secure password for all these things. Wait, let me type that again. I guess that has taken the right values. Let's see. So once again, I will retype my password. Here we'll see if they match or not. Then click on continue. Oh yes, they did match. Okay, so that's my password for Kali Linux. That's how long it is. So it's now going to be checking for the partition disk, the virtual disk that we had configured, around 100 GB of it. So it's going to be looking at it, and let's say use the entire disk. So we wanted a guided option for it. So click on continue. You don't have to worry, it's just formatting the virtual disk we configured for this. So that 100 GB is completely given to this, so you don't have to worry. So click on continue, and then all files in one partitions. Yeah, just click on continue. Continue. Yes, I want that to, that's how it should be. So click on continue, and then that should start to format it. So it's installing the base machine or base operating system here. This might take a little time depending upon how much RAM and speed and all that you have configured for your virtual machine. So let's wait. I will come back once it shows up a different window for me. Okay, so I guess it has almost reached the end of installing and configuring everything. So, yeah. Yeah, so we get a different window now that we can need to work with. So let's go with the default itself. So click on continue, which is going to be installing the tools and Gomon interface and all those things. So just click on the default things, continue. So that should install the software related applications like what and all tools and all you had selected. Those things are going to be installed. So let's give it some time. Okay, so that has installed. Now what we'll do is it has shown a different window. It's to install the grub bootloader. So let's click on yes and then click on continue. Yeah, I mean whatever that default storage it is for installing it, the dev SDA. Let's continue with that itself. Click on continue, and that will install the grub bootloader. That should finish our installation of Kali Linux, and anytime soon there'll be an option for us to reboot the virtual machine. So the long process was the installation of the virtual machines softwares and the UIs and all those things. So let's just give it some few more seconds. Let it load. Yeah, so that has given us the finished installation page. So we need to click on continue. That's going to reboot the virtual machine. Let's press enter when it asks for us to disconnect the ISO image. Oh, it did not ask. Fine, it did it automatically. So yeah, click on press enter. That will boot up to Kali Linux page. Now let's wait for it to boot up. There'll be a nice display of the Kali Linux logo. Just yeah, this one. It's booting up. That's the very good. Yeah, it was so fast. Okay, usually it takes a few seconds to boot up actually. Now with the username and the password that you exactly used for installing the Kali Linux, you can enter the same thing, and then that should log you in. So let's type in our username and password. Yes, so that has logged into the page. So with this, we have successfully installed Kali Linux. But then I would also like to showcase a little bit of installation of the tools and all those things which is minimum required. First thing, let's go with making this UI a little good, a little better. I love this UI, but then if you want to change the wallpaper or want to have your own, you can come here and then change all those things. So I kind of love the purple theme of Kali Linux, so I'll keep that thing. And if you also want to change the terminal, most of them ask about how do they get this terminal view. So what I do is okay, I'm not able to full screen that using the shortcut key. Yeah, so come to the files option here, then preferences. Under the preferences, first thing I'll change is the font. I want it to be a little big, at least 12. Let's see if that is too big, I can reduce it. And Kali dark, from there to green on black view. Then you can keep rest all the things a little same. You don't have to change it. Other than the transparency, I don't like the application transparent to be 5%, so I will increase it to 20. That would be good because it's then a little bit helpful for us. Oh, that was 20% of transparency. Let's reduce it. Let's reduce it to 2 3. That would yeah, that will do our work. No, let's keep it to 5 itself. Yeah, this is good. So that's thing. And even the font is pretty much good. The behavior is all default, and shortcuts, I just want to look at how will the half window shortcut be, which is split. Yeah, control shift D and control shift R, which is the right thing what I use. So let's click on apply and click on OK. And here we have a dark terminal, like the hacker terminal exactly here. Now let's give a first command, which is to update and upgrade the packages of Kali Linux. So I run a one single command, which is sudo apt update and sudo apt upgrade space upgrade -y. Let me select -y and sudo apt dist upgrade and then -y and sudo apt auto remove. No, let's do full upgrade. That will upgrade all the packages. I know this is a little bit of overkill for upgrading any packages and all. I just do it. So upgrade and then sudo apt auto remove. It's going to remove all the packages which is not required, and then sudo apt auto clean -y and then sudo apt oh, that's not what I wanted. Sudo apt update. So this should do it. It's going to ask you for the sudo password, which I will also be removing it in a minute. So let's press type in our password. You might not be able to see the password that you type, but then it will be typing it. You just need to continue just typing it, and then once you finish typing in your password, just press enter. That will start to do its work. Yeah, so let's okay, that was some syntax error. It's upgrade. Let's just change that. And yes, so that should do it. It has so much of package to upgrade, so let that be running in the background. Let's minimize this. Other part of the UI that I would like to change is to go to settings and then do some changes there. Let's go to settings manager. Come here. Then what we'll do is let's go to appearances first. I would like for Kali purple dark, which is little good and cool. That's what I consider. Then purple, this option, I don't want it to be blue. I want it to be a little purplish. Fonts is all good. Settings is also all good, so we don't have to do any changes there. Then clipboard management, we'll just keep it up to that. Desktop is nothing but these UI of wallpapers and all. File manager settings, let's just keep everything the default itself. Let's not tamper with any of them. All that I want to go for is another place. is the network, not the network option. I want the power management. So yeah, this is here so that it doesn't log out of my system. So let's go to the power management security here. So when should automatically log the screen session, since I use such a long password, right? I don't want to be typing it just because I go out or something like that. So I want it to be always running. It's my personal preferences, which is out of the industry standard practices, but I just click on never expire, automatically log this session. So I click on never, and delay locking after screensaver for 5 seconds. I mean, if it never locks, then 5 seconds is not an issue for me. So that's one changes which I would like to do. And restore is the default option. Do you want to do all those things? I mean, doesn't lock out exactly, so nothing to change there. So that's one thing. That's what I would be doing initially. So the time is all configured. That's all good. That is it pretty much then. That's the UI. Now the thing that I want to do one more is to say I want, yeah, let's create some shortcuts. Now for opening the web browser, you might have to come here and then try to, what do I say, run the web application, right? So we can even add a shortcut to it. Let's go to settings, again settings manager, and then keyboard. There's an option for keyboard. Coming here, we have application shortcuts, and the web browser option is set to www. What I will do is double click on here, and then we'll press Ctrl Alt W. So that is an option for me to now start a web browser without any issues. So let's click on close and then just give a demonstration. Control Alt W, which is going to, come on, open. Control Alt W. Control W. Yeah, it worked. Okay, it's opening multiple windows. It had its own delays. Okay, fine. So now with that, it has opened web browsers. I usually like to import my account. I have a Firefox account. I like to import all my extensions and all those things from that account. Let's do that. Before that, what I want to demonstrate really badly is the way how I want to add myself into sudo's list, so that whenever I type the sudo command, I don't have to enter my password again, because I have a very long password. I don't want to keep typing it. So there's an option. I'll just try to Google that. So okay, so I brought in a window of my Brave browser, and I just need to search how to what do I say? I forgot the sentence framing. How to not ask a sudo password in Kali Linux. Let's just search for that. Google is smart enough to understand my grammatical stuff. Let's wait for this browser to load up. How to disable sudo command password, or how to run sudo command without password on a Linux. Yeah, let's open this website. It's one file. Oh yeah, I need to edit the vsudo file. So let's copy that. Come back to our Kali Linux here. Open another terminal, which the options, the shortcut key is Control Alt T. So it'll open a new terminal, and then I'll say sudo and then this file name, which is the last time that I'm entering this password in my terminal. So enter my password, then come down here and add your user to the list. So I will say Pranava Rao, and then all is equal to, what is the format? I forgot the format. Let's just look at the format. What should be the format? The user all is equal to all, no password all. Fine. So user is equal to all, in the brackets all, and then it says no password all. I guess that's the format, or pass WD. So no pass WD all. So it's not password, no pass WD all. So that is going to be making sure that we don't have to enter the password once again. So my name is Pranavar Rao. That's what is the username that I have. So Control X Y Z. I mean Control X Y and press enter. Let's just check my username. So username, to check that, you can press who am I. It says Pranava Rao. Yeah, so I entered the right configuration. So if I exit this window and then try to open another window once again, and I say sudo ls, it doesn't ask for the password, but it's running as sudo. So if I say who am I, it says Pranava Rao. But if I say sudo uh, who am I, it says root. So it is not asking for the password to run as a root user. So that means I have configured it in the right way. So let's exit this window or this terminal here, and let's focus our attention on installing a very uh, popular tools for our operating system of Linux for our penetration testing and all those things. So the first thing that I would always go for is the sec list. So sec list, I can I have a copy of the files in my file share, but then if you want to install it fresh, you just need to do a small Google search. Let's also configure our Firefox. Okay, just I'll configure it. I want to show you all those themes and all those things. But then yeah, click on search for sec list. The first thing that you get here from the GitHub page. The reason why I would go for GitHub is because you can have it in your own location instead of going for the other one and Kali Linux. Let's just open this file also. If there's something new, oh, we already have it in our user shares folder then. We don't have to clone it. Okay, let's copy it from there, or else you can even go to your GitHub. If you're doing it on Ubuntu machine or somewhere you want to put in these tools, you can go to this GitHub repository and then just clone this repository and you'll have the list of it. So we have this file in the users share and sec list, right? So let's copy that. Okay, it's Control C, not Control Shift to C. So I'll copy the location of it and open another terminal. So I'll create a folder for myself, calling it as Pranava __ Rav. And inside that folder, I will also create another folder called as tools. So not make, mkdir, where I type make. So mkdir and then tools. So inside the tools folder, I would like to copy whatever content is there in user share and sec list. I want to copy, is sec list really there? Sec list. The user share, what is here? Do I see the sec list files? I don't see it. Is the location right? User share and sec list, but it's not there. SEC. No, it's not there. So we are left with the option to just clone it from GitHub. Okay, let's do that. It's a good demonstration to show by then. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll click on the code option, then click on copy, and then I will clear my window, Control L, and then I'll say git clone, and then paste in this command, whatever that is the URL from where I want to be cloning it, and press enter. That should start to clone the repository here. So let's give it for some second because it's a huge file which is present. And also what I want to do is to copy the rocky.txt file which is present in our shares folder into this same directory, because I want to have a list of tools in one particular file itself under my username itself. That's how I do. People usually go for opt directory and then put in the tools. But then this is my preferences of what do I say, storing in the tools. So I'll open another terminal. I'll just see if I have the rocky.txt file. So I will say cat. It's just a command that I want to be using. So share, and then do I have rocky.txt, or what are the other options that I have? Do I have word list? And then I will say rocky.txt. Yeah, so I will copy that instead of cat. So I will type in the command cp the rocky.txt.zip file into this folder. So I'm just copying it using the command cp. So when I run the command ls, so it should list all the contents what is there, and we see rocky.txt. So first thing what I'll do is I'll create another folder called as fuzzing list. So fuzzing list is the folder, and then I will move in the rocky.txt to the fuzzing list folder. So mv is the move command, rocky.txt to that folder. I hope that's still downloading. Once that's downloaded, I will also move this folder into that fuzzing list file. So into the fuzzing list file, what I will do is to unzip this file type of rocky.txt so that I can use it directly. First thing, I want to know what type of file it is. So file rocky.txt.zip .gz. So it says it's a gzip compressed file, and to unzip such kind of files, all that I have to run is say gunzip, and then I'll have to specify the file that I want to unzip. So I'll press enter. That is going to uncompress it, and you can see here I have a rocky.txt file. I can say head rocky.txt. It's going to be printing out the commands here. That's one of the way of doing it. Now also you might have noticed that while entering these commands, you might be able to see like the prompt which is telling you on what next to type in, right? That's okay if you're a beginner, but then sometimes it becomes confusing, or it is going to mislead you, or you don't want to show the history of the commands that you've entered. So for that, we can even edit that. I will go to my desktop for, the root directory. So I'll just say cd and the wiggle sign. That should take me to the home directory of my user. And here I would like to edit a file called as the ZSH file of this terminal. So I will say sudo nano dot ZSH, ZSHRC, then I'll press enter. And going down, you have an option here which auto suggestion. All that I have to do is to comment these lines. So just comment them, and that should be it. Just control X, Y, and enter, and then exit from the terminal and open another new fresh terminal. And now you might be able to see that if I type cd, it's not showing me the history of the commands that I've entered, which is a good thing, which is going to help you to it's not going to keep your terminal a little messy. I want it to be very neat. So for the sec list, maybe because of the downloads, what is happening in the background, it might be a little slow. So let's wait. It's 42% it has been downloaded. Another tool that I would like to install and showcase is the Burp suite. So let's go for the Burp suite. Or even this requires a little bit of downloading. So let's not go for Burp suite. I'll just come to Burp suite in a minute. Till then, I want to go to the settings of my Firefox. So go to the options of settings. And the first thing that I want to do is to import a user, which I recommend everyone to actually have a Firefox account if you're a professional penetration tester or who wants to get into it. Most of the time, the preferences and the extensions and all what you have installed might be important to you. So having a synchronization of those, and I also have a catalog of resource files and information links and all those things pointed as a bookmarker in my main virtual machine, right? So it has been synchronized with an account of Firefox. So it's going to just import all those things which is required. Before that, I will also remove these bookmarks on my screen that I'm able to see here. I'll just delete all those bookmarks. The same thing is just repeated in my same extension. I realized that I need to be also authenticating it with an authenticator app, but I don't have that phone right now with me, so I can't log in. It's in the other room, so fine. I'll not get into that right now, but yeah, if you have an account, it's going to be really useful for you. I'll just do it a little later. Now, other things that I want to showcase in this browser is going to be what is the dark theme? If you're a hacker, you need to have a dark theme. If you don't have, you're not a hacker. So select the dark theme. First thing is that, and the other thing that let's come back to it. Let's come to that option. So I thought I'll just showcase that, but then there is no point. Yeah, I want to come to this privacy and security option here. I leave all those things to default, but then the other thing that I want is that I want this option. So I want the cookies and the site related data to be cleared as soon as I exit from Firefox. So because it's a lot useful, but also it comes with the disadvantages. So if you have logged into some application, as soon as you turn off your Firefox or by mistakenly that freezes and you're supposed to shut it down, your data is lost. But then it is also going to be having an advantage in other ways, which is my personal preferences. But yeah, I'm just showcasing my personal preferences here. If you wish, you can copy it. If not, you can just leave it as it is. And I would like to even clear my history for today, with all the things that I was searching and all those things. I don't want it to be there. So let's clear that. And there's another option to say that I want to run all my Firefox in the private browsing mode itself. So let's select that option and then click on restart. That should restart the Firefox, and then whatever I have entered, no. So if I say checklist, that history is not present. So that's beneficial for me. So that's why that option is selected by me. Now, the other thing that I wanted to showcase was Burp Suite. So Burp Suite, I want to install Burp Suite in this thing. Now Burp Suite is already there. I know Burp Suite is going to be there by default. But then sometimes it might be an older version of Burp Suite which is installed, because by the time that they've configured the ISO image, this Burp Suite was there. If not, if you want to install, or I just want to showcase how you can install a Burp Suite, I will remove this. Let's say edit application, and I will love to remove this because I want to be installing my own, right? So let's just check what is the way of removing it. Desktop panel, no. Hide application. Are you sure you want to hide the application? Yes, I want to hide the application. I also want to delete the files of what is stored. So I'll go to the directory of CD, and then if I'm right, it's in the users opt somewhere. Let's find it now. So let's use a command find, and then from the root directory, let's say name, and that is Burp Suite. So Burp Suite. So that should search for us. Let's remove all those options. Let's say to dev null. Let's put in all those errors there. Yeah, it's in user bin Burp Suite. So let's go to that directory. So let's go to this directory of user bin. So cd user bin, and Burp Suite is going to be there. So I want to remove that. I'll say the command sudo rm, and then I'll say Burp Suite. Be careful with what you're deleting. So burp Burp Suite. Burp Suite is not there. Yeah, Burp Suite is there. So I'll say the command sudo rm Burp Suite and press enter. That has deleted Burp Suite here. So if I say ls and then try to grep for Burp Suite, Burp Suite, grep. Oh no, the grep spelling. Burp Suite is not present. Okay, so which means we have removed Burp Suite. Now, I don't recommend everyone to do it, but then yes, if you want to install it or install a Burp Suite, it's I mean, if you want to install the newer version of it, this is the best way to do it. So what I will do is I'll come to the Burp Suite Sportsfigures website and then say community edition. That itself you'll get for the professional edition also. I will download both of them. But then I will not showcase the installation of the professional version because I'll have to copy the license from my wherever the license is stored from the account. I need to log in and all those things. But community edition I would like to showcase. So Burp Suite community edition, and then Linux is the one which I want to select, and then click on download. That will start to download the file, the Burp Suite file. I also want to do one more thing now that I've realized. I want to go to the settings page and then search for downloads. So the downloads folder, I wanted to always ask for where you want to save the files, because just in case I'm searching for something which is bad, like a ransomware or something like that, and then if it directly downloads, I don't want that option to be there. Let it ask me, so I'll confirm wherever I want to download. So I've selected that option. Let's give it a few seconds. That till then, let's move into the directory. We had copied the sec list, right? So let's move that folder into the fuzzing list. So we have the fuzzing list file now with us. Fuzzing list, and you can see here we have the rocky.txt and also the contents inside the sec list. What happened? So cd sec list, and you can see all the stuff related to sec list being present here. Okay, that's good. So let's exit out of this terminal and then open another terminal, because this is going to be with the newer settings that we updated with it, like no history of the commands that I entered and all those things, no sudos and all those things. So that terminal is waiting for this file to be downloaded. Let's go to the downloads folder till then. So cd downloads, press, let's wait for it to download completely. That has downloaded successfully. So by pressing ls, you will be able to see the Burp Suite Community Edition file here. So I want to make it an executable file. For that, all that you have to run is chmod plus x, and then let's also add in sudo if it is required, just sudo, and then Burp Suite Community Edition and all those things. Press enter, and you'll be able to see that it's now highlighted, which means it shows that it's an executable file. Then I have to say dot slash burp suite, and that is going to start the process of installation of burp suite. So the default is click on next, whatever it says. And again, I don't want it to be in this location. So I have created a folder called pranava underscore underscore rav under the tools option. Let it just go there itself. I'll just verify if that is the exact location. So cd pranava rav and tools. Okay, it's T with ls. So tools, and it's going to save in that folder, which is good. Shall I also create a folder called as Burp Suite? So just in case if I have to install some plugins, I can make it there. So mkdir burp burp suite suite, and let's put that inside that folder also. So burp suite. Yeah, so that should be it. And with that, let's click on next. Yeah, let that be in the local bin directory itself, all the installation files. So click on next. So with that, it should install Burp Suite. Let's wait for it to extract the files and install it, and then give us an option to interact with Burp Suite. So giving it some time. Okay, so that has installed Burp Suite. Now all that I have to do is click on finish, and come up here and then search for Burp Suite Community Edition. It's already present. Just click on run. That's going to start the Burp Suite Community Edition. The same step is for also the professional versions. You just need to download it, follow these commands, and then you'll be able to install professional version of it. So I'll just create a temporary project and do some small changes like the UI. First thing is to change the dark theme. Without dark theme, you're not a hacker. So burp, then user settings, no, just settings, and then user interface, then display, then dark, and wow, now you're a hacker. Now you can do whatever you want with this. Okay, Pranav from the future, I actually forgot to showcase you the steps of configuring the CA certificate for the Burp Suite. I don't know, it was late night, so with some thought, I just forgot about it. Yeah, so for the first thing that you need to be doing is that let's click on the proxy option here, and then let's just be in the tab. Then open up our Firefox web browser, then head over to the options of settings. Now scrolling down to the options of settings, you'll be able to see something called as network settings. So click on that settings button, and then you will get an option of manual proxy configuration. So here what you need to do is to enter the IP address of your local host, which is 127.0.0.1, and then port is going to be port 8080. Let me just enter it with the okay, and I will say also use this proxy for the HTTPS configuration. So that's going to set the proxy of the machine to local host. So then click on OK. Now what you need to do is open another tab in your browser. Before that, let's turn on the intercept, or yeah, I mean that is configured. All that you have to do is to browse to HTTP and then // burp burp suite. That's it. I guess that's it. Yeah, just browse to HTTP Burp Suite, and then you will be shown a window of the place where you can download the CA certificate for Burp Suite Community Edition. So then click on CA certificate, and then save it to your downloads folder. Click on save. Then come to your settings page back again. Then go to privacy and security. Then scroll halfway down till you see a location called as certificates. So you can see something called as certificates. There, click on view certificates. Then click on the import, and then the CA cert there. Then click on open and say trust the CA identified websites and email users. Then click on OK. Then click on OK. With that, you are configuring the CA certificate for the community edition of Burp Suite to be able to access HTTPS websites also. So what happens in the other cases is that the proxies are not allowed to be accessing secure websites until unless they are verified to be from an authentic source. For that reason, you need to have a CA certificate which is going to confirm that the request coming from the source is the right legitimate source. So just have that configuration. So from after that, you'll be able to see it in your HTTP history or anywhere, wherever if you go and search. For example, I say hi in Google, I'm able to request for hi, and I see the request and the flows just coming into the HTTP history of my proxy tab. So which means it is configured. Now I'll just even showcase what will happen if that is not there, which will be a good understanding. Let me just search for it. Somewhere called as Portswigger. Yes, over here, if I just select on delete or distrust and then click on OK, and then click on OK, I will not be allowed to access this page. Am I? Okay, I guess it remembers in the history of it. Let's just close this tab and then open up Firefox once again. I mean, this is the purpose of just showcasing only. And now if I say hi, it says it doesn't allow us, so it's give this window. So if I click on advanced, again it doesn't let me to search all those things. So we need to have that configuration. Once we have the CA certificate, it's going to allow us to access the contents of the internet securely to us. So let's go to view certificates, import, and then import the CA certificate. Click on open and trust all those things, then click on OK. And then if I come here and refresh the browser, yes, I'm able to access the contents here. So yeah, that is it. I had forgotten this part of the clip, so I will just edit this and then put it in that section of the video. Okay, in other cases, if you're not running the Burp Suite parallelly and you just want to browse something, all that you have to do is to come to the settings page again, then click on the settings option for the network settings, and then you need to select the use system proxy settings. So that should allow you to run the web browser without requiring Burp Suite. So you can see that I have closed the Burp Suite option, the Burp Suite tool, and but still it's even able to access the internet without any issues. So if I have the manual configuration, you might just see this page saying proxies refusing for the connection. So come here and then change it to use system proxy settings, then come and refresh back again. It's going to present you with the right window, whatever you're browsing for. Okay, so yeah, that's it. So with this, I guess we have finished all the things that I wanted to showcase. Now, yeah, others would recommend you to just install from GitHub all the popular distributions of tools and all those things. But according to my personal preferences, I only love to install tools which is required and try to keep things a little bit clean. And mainly the thing is, I want to be cloning this virtual machine for my other work. So I wanted to have this basic configurations in it. So I just thought even I'll record this and then showcase to you all. Yeah, I have not rebooted after it has been updated. So all that you have to run is the reboot command, which is going to once reboot your virtual machine, and then it's going to say that, yeah, everything is working fine. You can start working with it. So once it just boots in and I log in, I guess that's the end of the video. So let's wait for it to boot up and show us a login page. Yeah, this is what I said, that UI of Kali Linux. Yeah, so it has given us the page. So Pranava Rao and then my password. I love to keep long passwords, but I also don't like to type them. No, is it wrong? So this is the reason why I don't like to type them. Yes. So I guess with this, we have come to the end of this video. Hope you did enjoy. Hope you did follow along for installing a Kali Linux in your system. Hope this helps you all something to do something with this. Yeah, that is it. That's it for this video. I would like to end this video here itself. It's a little late, and edit it and then upload it. With that, I would like to end this video. If you did enjoy this video, hit on that like button, and if you're new to this channel and want to see upcoming videos that I'm going to be posting in, you can subscribe down below and even hit on the notification bell, which is going to give you a notification whenever I upload a new video. With that, I would like to end this video. Bye bye.